Hi, this is Paul Sampienko, and I want to welcome everybody for joining us today in this webinar where we're going to be covering conference calls, events, meetings, and Convene. So I head up marketing and business development for Projecis, and if there are any questions during the course of the meeting, please feel free to send me an email at paul@projecis.com. So with that being said, let's go ahead with the meeting. Everybody is currently on mute. We have a variety of people that are joining us, and in order to avoid feedback, just want to make sure everybody is on mute. Again, if there are any questions during the course of the meeting, you can add them into the question box within the menu of GoToMeeting, or later on you can send me an email at paul@projecis.com. So let's get started. In today's agenda, we're going to be going over a little bit about Projecis, talking about meetings and events within Projecis, who can create these, as well as then going into a live demo. So each one of these areas we'll spend a little time on. This is a fairly short webinar, so we will try to go through it fairly quickly. And again, if there are any questions, you can always email me in the future. Now, Projecis is a communication and collaboration platform for teams in order to complete certain tasks or projects. In today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on a couple areas. We're going to be focusing a lot around collaboration and communication features. These include voice over IP, online chat, meeting teleconference features, and the meeting minutes tool, which is all included in today's webinar. We'll also be talking about events. Events are part of those areas where we want to track, monitor, and announce that things are actually occurring. So these are the areas that we will be focusing spending some time with in today's webinar. So let's go over, first of all, the meetings feature. Meetings feature has a lot of tools within it. For example, you can invite members to particular meetings, and if you do invite members, only invited members can see this meeting. So you might have a project team with 20 people, and if I invite 5 of those people to the meeting, then only those 5 people actually have visibility to that meeting. There is a minutes meeting feature built within the system. I'll go over that when we go into the live demo. We can view agendas and files that are associated with the meeting, and I can have that meeting recorded. All of these features are built within Projecis, are included in the fee. There is no additional fee for a conference call number. There is no additional fee to have a meeting or teleconference recorded. Additionally, on top of that, you can use Convene. Now, Convene is a meeting space, and we'll show that a little bit today. Think of it as now taking your conference or your teleconference and amping it up. So imagine it like a teleconference on steroids. Here, we're able to now exchange discussions, assignments, see file previews, also connect via voice over IP through the computer, microphone, and speakers of your computer, and we'll talk about some of the advantages to that. Also want to talk a little bit about the events feature. Events feature are certainly events that you place within your calendar. All the team members within a project can view those events. You can even attach files associated with those events. So if we have a meeting, perhaps we want to attach files that are the meeting agenda. And when we talk meeting, we're talking about a convention. Let's say I'm going to a convention in Chicago. I might want to attach the convention brochure associated with that. All of that is included within the system. And again, we'll spend a little time and just show that as well. There is a permissions area. There are a lot of different features and levels within the system and who can do what. But really the important part is focusing in this area and focusing on who can schedule a meeting and event. So meetings and events have the same level of permissions. Basically, anybody can schedule a meeting and anybody can schedule an event within Projecis. Okay. So that's really a take-home message there. We do have a variety of people that are considering Projecis, so I just want to throw this out there. I always do get the question, well, how much does the system cost? It is $12 per user per month with a minimum of 8 seats. You can pay on a monthly basis, you can cancel at any time, and you can add or delete users incrementally. So in essence, you only pay for what you use. There are discounts available based on annual payments, volume users, or commitments. Highest level of those discounts usually occur with a combination of three, but it really is on a case-by-case basis. When we talk about $12 per user per month, that is all you pay. There is no setup fee. There is no sign-up fee that is included. And also we do have additional services that are not included in $12 per user per month. They are additional fee for service, and those are consulting services, as well as country-specific voice over IP numbers or country-specific telephone numbers. We do get that question every now and then, especially in this particular type of webinar. Well, suppose I want a teleconference number specific to a particular country. We can set that up for you. There is additional fees associated with that, however. So let's just jump into the system demo. But before I do that, I just want to talk about the discount code. There was an announcement that if you attend a webinar and you do sign up for Projecis, you will get a 20% discount for the first year. You will need a discount code, and that discount code is 8INTROWEBINAR. If you do forget the discount code in the future, you can certainly email me and I can certainly provide that to you. So with that, let's just jump directly into the demonstration so we can go through that and cover some of the items that we talked a little bit about. Now I've gone to www.projecis.com and I'm going to log in. This is the live system. However, I will be using a demonstration area that we've set up. So let me just log in. Okay. And I've now logged into Projecis. I'm going to actually zoom in so we can actually see the entire area here. And you can see that I've logged in as Luke Skywalker. We do use Star Wars as our demo area, primarily because it works very well internationally. With a lot of our international clients, everybody knows Star Wars. Now, all the information, including meetings and events, are organized around projects. So let's open up a project and start to use some of this area. So I'm going to open up, let's open up the Rotoprophia study project. And we will see the calendar. And let's actually open up the full calendar. So I can just click on calendar. I've opened up the Rotoprophia study and I can click on calendar. And I'm viewing the entire calendar as we see it here. Okay. Now one of the things I want to show you is actually scheduling an event. We can do that a variety of ways. I can either click on when that event is going to occur. So I can either click within the calendar field. So I can click on the calendar field, enter the event information, and I can even edit details. If I edit details, it'll give me a lot more controls as to whether or not it'll be an all-day event, the days it'll be, title, event, location, and so on. And I can even attach files. So that's one way to do that. Another way to do it, let's go back to the original calendar, is just scheduling new event in the upper right-hand side. Again, other parts of Projecis have a very similar structure, which is a search and view items on the left subtab and new items on the right-hand side. So if I want to put in a new event, I can just simply click on new event. Let's create an event that goes from, let's say, the 22nd through the 24th. I'm going to say this is the ASCO meeting. I don't know when the ASCO meeting is, but I'll just put this in. I can say location, optional. I can put in a description. I can even select a file. And all of these will be affiliated with this particular event. So I'm going to just select a file because I feel like adding a file, add this event, and it will be added to the calendar. So if we open up the calendar, we can see that the event has been added to this calendar. Because it's an event, everybody in this project has access to this event. So everybody knows that this is occurring for this particular project, can click on it and get additional information on it just by clicking more details and seeing the files, viewing it, or downloading the files that are affiliated with it, or reading the discussions affiliated with it. So that's really the significance of events. One, they are viewed by everybody within the project. Secondly, you can affiliate documents or comments to events. So normally if you have a calendar, there's only so much information you can associate with what's written on a calendar. It might be ASCO meeting, but suppose I want more. I can actually affiliate that all in the system, and it's saved within the project. I can even attach comments as to who's going to attend. Maybe I'm going to have an attendance list of who's in my company is going to attend this meeting. I can put that all within the same meeting space, and again, everybody within the project has visibility to it. The other item I want to go over is the meetings area. And the meetings is really one of those areas that we could spend a little bit more time on, because events essentially is fairly self-explanatory, but meetings is a little bit different. So let's go back to the original calendar. Now similarly, I can just click on a particular day, and today's the 15th. I could click on the day, click on meeting, and type in the meeting, or I can go to edit details and put in more information. Or I could just say schedule meeting in the upper right, which will bring us immediately to this page. So I'm going to schedule a meeting that's going to be 1 o'clock p.m. Okay, and to 2 o'clock p.m. Now I do get the question, well, this time, what time is it? Because I'm scheduling the meeting, I'm putting it in my local time. So it's a 1 o'clock. In this case, I'm in the Pacific. So Pacific time, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Pacific time. Other people will see the time based on their local time that they have on their profile. So if somebody's on the East Coast, it'll reflect East Coast time for them. Okay. So I do get that question, just want to at least throw it out there. So I'm scheduling this meeting from 1 to 2 o'clock today. I'm going to say we're going to review attendance at ASCO, since we just used that particular example. So I'm just going to correct the spelling here. Location, I'm going to have this a call-in number. So I'm going to set up a conference call. I'm going to have this call recorded. Now the conference call number and the recording of that conference call are included within Projecis. You do not pay extra for that. I can also then invite the people that I want to attend this meeting. These are people within my project. So within Projecis, in this particular study, this particular project is a Projecis study. That Projecis study, I have about 20 members within my project team. I can invite everybody or just a few people. I can also select who's responsible for minutes. In this case, I'm going to click on R2D2, and he will be responsible for minutes within this particular meeting. I can then enter an agenda. I can either upload a file, or I can enter agenda items as bullet points. So I'm going to say, item, A1 as being one agenda item, item A2, and let's say item A3. So these are the 3 agenda items that I'm going to just enter as bullet points. I can enter a description for the meeting, and I can select files that people should be aware of. So I'm going to select 3 files, a PDF, a Word, and a PowerPoint, just for the heck of it. And then I'm going to create this meeting. Once I hit create meeting, an email invitation will be sent to the people that were invited. They'll also have access to the meeting agenda and the other attachments that I loaded within the system. Well, what does that look like? Well, it looks like this. This is an example of a meeting that was set up. In this case, this was an updated meeting, but the invitation will be the same thing. It'll give them the call-in number, meeting code, PIN number, what project it's associated with. In this case, it's the same study, Projecis study. Who else is invited? It'll also give them ability to download the agenda as well as the documents that were uploaded. So all of that is included in that invitation. If they accept the invitation also, it'll be reflected in their own calendar as well. So all of that is there. Okay. So let's go back to this example that we've used here. So we could just end it there. We could just say, listen, we're going to use the teleconference number that's built within Projecis. We'll use this call-in number, meeting code, your personal PIN. In this case, this meeting is going to be recorded, and that's it. We can just go ahead and use the conference call number. Projecis has another feature in it that we call Convene. And think of it now taking your conference call and bringing it up a notch. And there are a couple of advantages to using Convene. So let's click on Join Meeting, and it will actually have us enter this meeting space. So this meeting is occurring right now, which is 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock today. Since it's within 15 minutes of the meeting or during the course of the meeting, I hit Join Meeting. Now, what are the advantages to doing this? Well, it opens up this particular space. Now we can have this meeting that is still a teleconference, but now we have access to additional features. One, we have access to the login information and who set up the meeting, and certainly that's one piece of information we have. But you'll also notice that this call-in number is a U.S. call-in number. So our international clients certainly don't necessarily want to call into a U.S. number. In this particular case, if they use Convene, they can actually hit Join Call in the lower left. If they use Join Call, it will connect the microphone and speakers on their computer to the same meeting. So whether I'm calling in via Join Call through Convene, or whether or not I use this US call-in number, it connects to the same trunk. So if R2D2 use Join Call, I can still mute him by just clicking on the telephone icon. It will mute him. Now these people are not on. If they were on, these would fill in as black and white, instead of being grayed out. And I can mute them by just clicking on these icons. So either way, I can actually mute them out by just using the controls here. Once in a while, I do get the question, well, how many people can be accommodated with the conference call number within Projecis? Well, there is a practical limit as well as a hard limit. The hard limit that we've been told is, I think, like 42. But the practical limit is usually around in the teens, because once you start to get to really large numbers like 40, the quality can degrade. So most meetings usually don't have that many people anyway. Most meetings have maybe 10, 7, 15 on the high side, and those can be accommodated within Projecis. So I do get that question. I just wanted to throw it out there. There is a hard limit that we've been told, because we do use a third party for a conference call number. However, from a practical experience, we do note that teens are usually comfortably handled. You can use higher than that. It's just I can't necessarily say what the quality will be at that particular point in time. But again, most meetings usually fall into that category. So here we have this meeting space. This is still a teleconference, so this is not screen share like GoToMeeting like we're using. So other people on my team do not see what I see on my screen, but they do have access to what I see on my screen. So what does that mean? It means that if I click on marketing presentation, I can go to the team and say, listen, let's open up the marketing presentation and go through page 1, page 2, page 3. However, Jabba the Hutt could very well be looking at the finance review document and not marketing presentation. So we all have access to the same information, but we are not screen sharing. So that's the difference. So I do have access to the agenda that was typed in, so we can always reference the agenda as we're going on. We do have access to the files that were uploaded, and we can see the preview of those files, and I can go from page to page. I can view each one of those areas and jump from document to document. Another thing we can also do is hold a discussion. So let's say, for example, Mary says, Paul, can you upload, or Luke, could you upload the latest numbers for my region? I can say, here are the latest numbers. And then I can attach that and attach that particular document. Let's just pick a document for the heck of it, this particular Word document, and post that comment. Everybody within the meeting has access to that document and can download that document. And let's say there's another person that wants another document. Other people can upload documents as well. I'm not the only one that can upload them. So I can go to Bob and say, Bob, could you upload the latest numbers for your region or your latest contacts? And he can upload them as well. But because I'm the only one on this meeting, I'm going to upload another document. So here is another one. And I'm going to attach another file in this particular case. So I'm going to open up this due diligence document and post that comment. Now, normally, this discussion would occur. People would have to email it around. Everybody would have to, open up their email, view the documents. However, that the email and the meeting are disconnected from one another. Here, because it's an integrated system, everything will be saved in one place. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Additionally, we can also create action items. So I can say, review document A, and I can assign this to somebody. Usually it's somebody that did not attend the meeting, because that's how it works, and create that particular assignment. And I could say review document B, and assign this to somebody else. Let's say I'm going to assign it to that person. It's going to be due on the 30th, and create that action item. So we can go through the line and create action items. So what is the advantage to using Convene? In addition to having access to information such as agenda, current files, being able to call in using join call versus using the dial-in number, what are the other advantages? Well, one of the other advantages is that everything is saved in one place. So let's say the meeting is completed, okay? And let's go to our calendar. We could see here within the system we have this item this meeting that we just had, which is review attendance at ASCO. I simply click on it, view the more details, and we can see not only the call-in number that was used, who attended, and the agenda and documents, but we can also see the action items that were assigned and the discussion items that we just had, all saved to this meeting under this given project, the Road to Projecis study. So now we have an integrated system that all the information is maintained in one place. Now these action items, what happens with them? Well, actually they are used to create tickets. So we created review document A for Darth Maul and review document B for Mon Mothma, whoever that person is. If I were to go to the tickets area, I can actually view the tickets assigned to others, and you could see that they are here, review document A, review document B, who they were assigned to. Now, because they're created as tickets, these people, Darth Maul and Mon Mothma, were actually informed via email that they have a to-do item, and they can log in and find out what they have been assigned. So the advantage here is that it takes care of the work for you. Once you've created assignments, you don't have to then go back and tell the people that you've assigned them that that they have something to do. They're automatically informed that they have things to do. And because it's within Projecis, you can track it and make sure it gets completed. So that's one of the beauties, certainly, of an integrated system. So what we've done so far is reviewed meetings. We reviewed events. We've reviewed how to create events either by clicking on New Event on the right-hand side or clicking on the calendar itself. Being able to attach files and descriptions, which give you a lot more information to an event. We've also talked about scheduling meetings. So having to schedule a meeting and how that meeting information is retained within the system. Now, one of the things what we also did is we assigned minutes to be collected by R2D2. Roughly a few minutes after the meeting, R2D2 will get an email saying they're responsible for minutes. All they have to do is respond to the email. If they want, they can attach documents, but if they respond to the email, the contents of that email will automatically get posted within the minutes area of the meeting. So they don't even have to log in, because there are those meetings where the minutes are simply 4 or 5 bullet points. These are the things we're going to do. Here's the decision we've made, and it'll automatically get posted within the minutes area. Additionally, this meeting was recorded. So once the recording is completed, the meeting leader will actually be told that the meeting is completed, and it too, if the person who's running the meeting decides, will also be posted within Projecis. So that meeting recording will be posted within this meeting space as well. So all of that can be done, maintained, and is in one single place. And in the future, we can search for it. We can always search for meetings, particular contents of meetings in the future, and be able to look at that. So with that, I think we've run out of time. I'm going to open up the microphone for a second or two if there are any questions. But again, if there are any questions in the future, feel free to email me at paul@projecis.com. Any questions? Okay. With that, again, I'm going to mute everybody because I am getting echoes, and just want to let you know. Feel free to email me with any questions, and the discount code is 8 Intro Webinar. Again, if you are signing up for Projecis for the first time. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for participating. We want to make it short and sweet. If there are any questions, I hope to hear from you. Thank you.